Welcome to today's ride, which I hope is going to be a new beginning for me. Cycling wise, last winter was an absolute disaster. I didn't do much riding and consequently my fitness went down, which meant when I got to January I was back at square one, which is always really disappointing. But this year I'm determined it's going to be different. The main reason I didn't get out and ride quite as much as I would have liked last year was of course the weather. For some reason I really felt the cold, almost to the point of obsession. Now obviously that could be age related, but I also think there was another reason. Morning, 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 morning. Like most people in the UK last year and probably around the world as well, our energy prices basically doubled, so it was costing us significantly more to heat the house. And me being me, just didn't want to play that game, so I turned the heating right down and tried to keep myself warm in other ways, so wearing extra layers of clothes and things like that. But what I didn't realise was that it just made me so cold that the thought of going outside to somewhere even colder just really wasn't appealing, and I just couldn't face getting on the bike and going out and doing a ride. But I think it also had some weird long-term effect as well, because just keeping myself that cold for that long just meant that I was unable to get myself warm when I did go out on the bike. So it didn't seem to matter how many layers of clothing I wore, I was still cold. Up until last year, my general rule of thumb was if the temperature was 6 degrees Celsius or above, I was happy to go out. If it was below that, I'd kind of play it by ear. But last year, even at 10, 11, 12 degrees, I was struggling to get warm. Thankfully though, energy prices have come down a little bit. So I've decided this year to treat myself and turn the heating on. As usual, I'm trying to keep my heart rate within zone 2 on this ride, but it's not easy, especially as I'm climbing up Old Winchester Hill at the moment. So I'm just taking a bit of a breather, and that gives me an opportunity to look at the fantastic view. So the burning question is my heating strategy working? Well, at this precise moment in time it is 6 degrees Celsius and I'm out cycling and I'm cool, but I'm not bitterly cold. But bear in mind, I have just climbed a fairly big hill and that's going to warm me up a bit. Obviously it also does depend on clothing, and at the moment I've got 4 layers on, including 2 long sleeve layers. So that's obviously the way to go for the rest of the winter. Well, there we go, that's me in the last 2 kilometers of my ride, and I usually use this as a bit of a cool down, but it's pretty cool as it is today. It's even dropped a degree down to 5 Celsius. By the time I get home, that will be 44 kilometers and 500 meters of climbing in the bank of fitness, so a fairly respectable ride.